She has fucked with a dude that is uglier than you, shorter than you. She has fucked with a dude that's fatter than you, with a dude that's dumber than you. The next time you're out in public and you see a girl and you're intimidated by her beauty or by her looks, or maybe you have a crush on some chick and you think that you're not good enough for this chick, I just want you to keep that in mind, guys, that she has most likely fucked with a dude that is not as good looking as you are, that is shorter than you, that is just a lower standard than what you are. So what does this mean? This means that even if you're not a Chad, even if you're not 100% caught up on your self-improvement yet, right? You know, you're still catching up. Let's say you're still overweight or something is just missing, right? Do not be afraid to go talk to that girl. And do not think that 100% that your chances would not work out if you went and talked to this chick. Because everywhere you go, you can go anywhere. Go to the mall, go in public, whatever. You will see something very common. You will see subpar men. Men that are not that attractive. Men that we in the looks maxing community would call chopped or something like that, right? You know, they're chopped. You will see these guys with beautiful women. You will see average or even kind of unattractive men with extremely attractive women. So I want you to stop making excuses as to why she's too attractive for me. She's too hot for me. She's taller than me. I don't want to talk to her because she's taller than me, right? You know, not talking to a girl just because she's a tall girl or she's pretty or she's blonde. You do not have to settle for scraps. You don't have to settle for scraps. I'm going to be one of the first people to break this to you, but you do not have to settle for some subpar woman just because you're not 100% caught up on self-improvement. Okay? And I really, really recommend that y'all start dating some women. Even if they're out of your league, even if you're not ready, just purely for the experience or to get it out of the way. Break that dry spell. You know, if you've never had a girlfriend, go get a girlfriend. If you've been in a dry spell or a rut for a few months or even a few years, put yourself out there. Go talk to some chicks. Go hang out with some chicks. Go do some cool shit with your friends, right? At the same time, continue your self-improvement. Continue improving yourself. Continue to lose weight, stack your money, build a business, whatever you're doing, right? Whatever you're doing, your self-improvement goal, do not stop doing that because you could get the girl. You could land this girl, right? If you take my advice, be careful. You might get a girlfriend. You might end up with a wife. Or, you know, some chicks that are interested in hanging out with you often, like a booty call or something. But what I'm saying is do not fall off or slack off on your self-improvement because you can lose her just as fast as you gain her because you need to stay locked in, guys. You need to stay locked in. Okay, so once you get that out of the way, once you talk to a pretty girl, once you've proven to yourself that even though that you're not a 10 out of 10, even though you're not a Chad, but you can still sleep with an attractive woman, all of a sudden, your options automatically open up. You originally were thinking that, you know, I can only fuck with, I don't know, overweight women. Let's say you're overweight and you think that, you know, chubby girls are, you know, in your ballpark, right? You only really go up and talk to chubby chicks because they're kind of on the same level as you. No, but once you break that barrier, once you break through that barrier, you will come to find that, okay, you mess with a girl, a 9 out of 10, an 8 out of 10. All of a sudden, you just realize something. Damn, all these 8 out of 10s are available to me now. All these 9 out of 10s are available to me right now. Because of the simple fact that you have proven it to yourself that you can do this. Because most of the time, your dating options, yeah, I get it. It's hard to date nowadays. You know, the looks maxing and there's Tinder and all this other bullshit and blah, 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 whatever, right? Go out in public. There's dudes walking around with girls. They're not being held back. There's unattractive men that are with women right now as we speak in relationships, or they're smashing them, or they're talking to them, or starting a relationship. And the simple fact that you threw in the towel. Do not throw in the fucking towel. This is the honest advice right here. Do not throw in the towel, because you are not a failure. Do not disqualify yourself before you even get into the game, right? To play the game, you got to play the game, right? But do not disqualify yourself from playing the game before you even get a chance to play it. Put yourself out there on the court. Play the game. Go play the dating game. Stop saying, oh, I'm too overweight, I can't play this game. No, you're not too overweight. You're not too ugly. You're not this. Bro, I see people all the time. I see dudes online that are disabled, in a wheelchair. Fucking, their body doesn't even work. And they have some hot-ass girlfriend or a midget or something, right? Like, there would be like some online influencer midget that has like a hot girlfriend. Okay? Is he chopped? Is it over for him? No, of course it's not. Is that relationship gonna last forever? Right? Who knows? Right? At least he has a fucking girlfriend. At least he has a wife, right? Who knows why she's with him? We're not fucking here to debate why she's with some dude in a wheelchair. But all I'm saying is that the dude in the wheelchair has a chick and you don't. And you're making up all these excuses as to why you can't get a girlfriend, or you can't talk to girls, or women are this, women are that, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to tell you something right now. The longer you do not participate in the dating market or the dating scene, the longer that you put this off, the more inexperienced and the more kind of pushed away from society you are going to become. Because the longer you go without talking to girls or interacting with girls, the more you will become a weirdo. And you do not want that. You want to be able to connect with these chicks like a normal human being. Okay? And yeah, it's a game. But there's an art to the game. There's a way to play it. There is a way to talk to these girls. There is a way to interact with them. There is rules of engagement. And the longer you do not gain experience, the worse off you're going to be until you're 30 years old and you're still a virgin. You do not want to be that guy. Trust me, you do not want to be that guy that waits till he's 30 years old and has not seen any action, or is not seeing any action at all, So get yourself out there, reintegrate yourself with society, talk to women. You don't even have to flirt with them. You could just be friendly. You could just be a normal human being. I'm going to give you another tip right here. I'm going to give you another great tip. So, not every single woman you meet, you have to pursue. And I'm going to tell you why. Every single woman you meet, trust me, as men, yeah, we think about every single chick that we meet, right? Oh, do I like her? Do I not like her? Am I attracted to her, right? Would you sleep with her, basically? Well, you can think about that, of course, yes. But what I'm saying is, not every single girl that comes in your orbit or in your life or friend group or whatever that you see in public or that you talk to has to end in a sexual encounter or some sort of relationship or something more than friends. You can, look, if the vibe is off or if you just don't feel like it, you don't need to pursue her like that. You could just be friends with her. Now, what does being friends with a girl, what are the benefits of that? There's actually quite a bit. Being friends with a girl actually opens you up to meeting other girls, right? So even if you meet a girl that you're not attractive to, right? If you are friends with her, you're opening up the possibility to meeting her friends and not having to cold approach these women. You could just meet them naturally like how God intended, at a party or something, or at a get-together or something like that. You can meet them naturally and become friends with them. You could start talking to them, right? Being in a comfortable, familiar environment where it happens naturally. Having female friends allows you to do this, okay? So another thing I want you to do is, even if a girl's prettier than you, even if you're intimidated by her, even if she doesn't like you back, that doesn't mean you can't be friends. That doesn't mean it can't be a friendship, right? That could possibly lead to something. And also, I do want to let you know, even if a lot of the times you could start a friendship with a girl where you don't like her, right? Or you're not interested, or you're not even going to pursue her. You could be attracted to a woman that you never feel like pursuing. It happens. You can meet a really attractive girl that you like. There's nothing wrong with her. She's a really sweet girl, but you just don't see her like that, right? You don't plan on making a move. And that's fine. You don't have to make a move. You don't have to. Nobody's forcing you to make a move. Okay? Yes, okay, yeah, get yourself out there, make some moves, right? You know, if you really are attracted to a woman, be honest about it. Let her know, right? Don't keep a secret. Be a man. Be a man and do your thing. Riz her up, as they say, right? Be friendly. Be a good guy, but don't be like some jackass that, you know, is just a fucking cornball. But you get what I'm saying. Even if a girl is out of your league, even if she don't like you like that, you could be friends with her and you can meet her friends who are most likely also attractive women. And I'll tell you another thing about attractive women. Like pretty women, beautiful women, a lot of the times their friend groups are all beautiful women. You can find a really pretty girl and see that all of her friends are attractive. They're pretty. They're good looking. And, you know, there might be the occasional, unattractive girl. It's like, you know, I'm talking about the comic relief girl, I guess people would call it. But, yeah, you don't have to turn every single experience with a woman into some game or show or whatever. And you don't need to be a pussy either that doesn't do anything, right? There's two different extremes. There's being a pussy that does nothing, that's too scared for a woman to basically get rejected, right? Rejection is part of life. Get used to it. It happens to everyone. It happens in basically everything. You get rejected from a job, right? But don't be this guy that's going after every single woman you run into, right? Because that's also going to lower your value. Go after what you want. Be a good man, learn, improve yourself, be on the self-improvement journey, improve your personality, improve your looks, improve your fashion, your finance, right? Do what you can to make yourself to level up, okay? The things that you can control, level that shit up, okay? Okay, your face is fucked up. You can't control that. I'm sorry. You know, if you have a nasty face or if you're short, you can't control that. I know there's surgeries and shit nowadays, so I guess you can kind of control that to an extent. But what I'm saying is control what you can right now. Always learn, improve, and don't miss out. Don't miss out. You're only young once. You're only 20 years old once. You're only 25 years old once. You're only 18 once. And living your life without having the memories of enjoying times with a beautiful woman that you're attracted to, that you like, making memories, living your life like a man, being able to enjoy things with a woman, being able to share that experience, right? Having a girlfriend, doing things with her, right? Experiencing the joys of this life, the pleasures that women bring us, right? Women bring a lot of negativity, but they also bring a lot of positivity. And I honestly think that you need to do not miss out on these life experiences, because they are so important to what's going to develop you later on. If you've never had a girlfriend, I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's going to be harder for you to get a girl because you've never had a girlfriend. You don't know what you're doing. If you've had multiple girlfriends, right, when you were in school, when you were a kid, it's going to be easier because you have experience. You've broken those things, you know, those self-limiting beliefs, that you would not be able to get a girl. Basically, this video, the theme of this video boils down to is, do not let your self-limiting beliefs hold you back, especially when it comes to women, because there's so many men out there. This is one of the biggest problems out there. So many men missing out on experiences that they need to mature into a proper man. And because they're just too scared to get up and take what's theirs and you know, put yourself out there and risk rejection, risk being made fun of, risk being, you know, people talking about you saying, oh, he asked her out but she said no. Okay, big fucking whoop, dude. You got rejected. What are you gonna do now, right? Are you gonna fucking never ask out a girl again? Or are you gonna give it another shot, right? Are you just never gonna have a girlfriend or wife or sleep with a girl because you got rejected? Fuck no. There's guys that make a sport out of this, guys. There's dudes that talk to women all fucking day because they're not scared. And at some point they were scared. Every dude at some point is scared, intimidated. Women are intimidating. Let's just be honest about it. They are. You know? A beautiful woman is intimidating, right? You're scared to talk to her. You're scared to offend her or whatever. It's okay to be scared, but push through the fear. Push through the fear and just fucking do it. Okay? And like I said, don't be a creep about it. Be normal, be a cool guy. And you don't have to ask out every single girl. Like I said, you do not have to try to sleep with every woman that you come into contact with in your life, or every chick that's your friend. You don't have to sleep with her. It's not necessary. And I honestly don't recommend trying to do that anyways, because it's going to lead to a lot of rejections and it's going to lead to a lot of confidence that's going to be lost. Trust me, I have tried it. It does not work how you think it's going to work, okay? You're going to get rejected and you're going to be labeled a creep if you do that. So play your cards right. Play your chess pieces right. Be smart about it. Be intelligent. Watch these kind of videos. Study these kind of videos. Read books on dating. Read books on talking to women. I'm telling you right now, all this stuff can be learned. If you have a friend that's good with women, ask him. Ask him to tell you stories about how he met girls, how he did this, right? You will gain insights. You will gain knowledge that you otherwise do not have. So pick up from the experience of other men as well. Because at the end of the day, the game is a game. But there are methods to playing the game. There is strategies. There is hacks. There is how-to videos. There is tutorials. I highly recommend you take advantage of the tutorials, of the hacks, of the previous experiences of other men, okay? If you want to talk one-on-one, I have a calendar link down below. If you have a specific situation and you need help getting through that situation, please book a one-on-one call with me down below. Leave a comment, leave a like, and I'll see you guys on the next video.